my lovely cameos, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Violin, and it is a warm summer day out today, so we are going to be making some sun tea. Now, if you don't know, sun tea is made by putting a jar of tea out in the sun and letting it steep for a few hours. It's kind of like the reverse of cold brew almost, but it makes some very tasty tea, so I'm excited to see how it comes out this time. We're going to be using this glass jar with a glass jar with this steeping sieve and a pop lid. Easy, nice to pour when we're done steeping and are ready to drink it. We've got our water, and you can use filtered water if you are in an area where you've got like chemicals or impurities in the water. Not all tap water is safe to drink. So we've got some nice filtered water here. We've got our measuring tablespoon to scoop out the tea. And for this video, I'm going to be using this yummy Venetian rose peach bellini. I got this at Sips By. You can find all sorts of teas on their website. They also have a sampling box that, a sampling subscription that I've done before, and I found some really yummy new finds through it. Some really great teas. Feel free to go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. So we're gonna start with our tea. It smells really yummy too. It looks super cute. I don't know if you can tell so much. Maybe I'll pour a little bit out on the plate for you guys to like see what it looks like. Come on, focus. There we go. Oops. Trying out cinematic mode on my phone this time, and it's has different depths of focus, which is really cool, but Vio does not know how to do focus very well. I'm trying. My brother is the videographer. He would be able to do it. So when you're doing sun tea, you're going to want 1 teaspoon for every cup of water that you pour. Now this is, I think it technically would be a 7 cup. Yeah, it would be a 7 cup jar. And I actually like to do a few more extra teaspoons when I'm doing sun tea, just so I can get that flavor. Really, really full and deep flavor when I'm brewing it. So since I've got a 7 cup here, I'm going to be doing 9 teaspoons technically. I've got my tablespoon here, so I'm going to be measuring out like 3 tablespoons. Also, a little side note, if you like your sun tea sweetened, do leave a little bit of room at the top when you're pouring your water, which we'll get to in a minute. But if you like your sun tea sweetened, leave a little bit of room when you're pouring your water so that you can add sweetener later on. But yeah, we're going to be using this strainer, awesome little guy, and set it like that. Don't fall over. we've got 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. And if you're concerned about like wasting your tea, if you don't have like a lot of tea, it's okay to do like just 1 teaspoon per cup of water. But I've always liked to add like a couple, again, just for that extra flavor. So we've got our tea in here, and now we'll put it in the jar. Gotta make sure that, check the seal and see that it's level. Put this off to the side. And now it's time for our water. And hopefully I measured it out appropriately. So we're gonna just pour it in, making sure we're getting the tea wet in the process, like all of the leaves wet. And as you pour, the tea is going to rise in the strainer. So just making sure that you're getting all of it wet. And already you can see that it is changing color just because of the tea itself. Okay. Now comes, we're gonna put this lid. I always like to pop the top off of every lid that I put on something, even if it's not like hot, just so that it, so that we can let air escape and not like trap it. Gonna close the lid. Now we're going to set it in the sun. Now when you're finding a good spot to put your tea in, you can do like a window if you want to keep it inside. Sometimes I've put it like out on a balcony, on a deck, but we've got like a really nice garden window here, so we're definitely gonna use that instead. And I use the number of hours proportionate to the number of minutes you would do for a hot brew tea. So this tea takes about like 6 minutes, so we're going to do 6 hours for this tea. So yeah, we're gonna set it in and let it get cooking. Alrighty, it's been 6 hours and our sun tea is fully brewed. You can see how dark it is compared to when I first started out. So now what we're going to do is first pop the top to let the air escape, and we take the lid off. And we're going to take the brewer out. Let it drain a little bit while you're taking it out. It might take a bit, especially if there's like a lot of water in it. And brew any of this tea, what I suggest you do is, if you're going to be doing it right away, that's totally fine. Get another ball jar, put that brewer in, fill it up with more water, set it out. Right now it's about nighttime for me, so if you're going to do this at night, you'd be making boom tea, basically. If you're not feeling like you want to do it right just yet, or if you don't have enough room yet for more tea, or a big enough container for more tea, then what you can do is set it out on paper towels and let it dry, and then when it's fully dried, put it in a container, a small container, in the pantry or in the refrigerator, and it'll be ready to go for next time. But yeah, make sure it's dry first. That was the mistake that I made last time when I was making some tea to batch. Yeah, it's unusable. Anyway, our sweet tea is brewed. You can see I have some room at the top. And I like my tea sweet, so we're going to put some sugar water next. We're going to put that at the top part of the jar. What I like to do actually when the tea's done brewing is just add some water, dark. Then put the water and give it just a nice swirl. And we're going to shake it up more and add the sugar. But for now, I'm just waiting for the water to heat up. You can absolutely do a sugar syrup on the stove. There are recipes out there. You can do sugar syrup and then add that in. I suggest doing it with sun tea, because if you're brewing it in the hot sun, the tea's already going to be warm, and it's going to be less of a shock to add the hot syrup to the tea. I myself am a low maintenance girl, so I am going to basically just put a bunch of sugar scoops, kind of inspired by how when you put sugar in hot tea, it melts. So you've got the kettle boiling, heating towards boil, and I'm just going to put a bunch of scoops of sugar in the bottom of this mug, basically. And then we're going to add a little bit of hot water to it. I'm trying to decide how sweet I want it. It's probably good enough. I like it when my sun tea comes out with a more mild sweetness. Because it's kind of nice and light and airy. The rose peach bellini, I think, has a bit of a stronger flavor to it. I think it is not necessarily an herbal tea, but it's not a green tea and it's not a white tea. It's more like a darker brewed tea, darker roasted tea. So we're probably going to want a bit more sweetness to bring out the flavors of rose peach bellini. And I've got a bunch of other teas that I'm absolutely interested in doing ASMR videos with. When I was first starting out, just conceptualizing the ASMR, I was like, what do I want to do? And my first thought was cafe videos, because your girl is a barista and that's her main job. So I was thinking of tea brewing and different ways of brewing coffee and stuff like that. So definitely still gonna utilize those, especially since brewing a good cup of tea is always great for your soul. It's definitely very healing, and I always feel really rejuvenated with a good cup of tea, whether it's hot or it's iced. Some of you are gonna be like, but iced tea. Well, I'm American, and it can get really hot sometimes where I live. Not all the time, but there are those rare days where it's upwards of 80, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, I drink tea like water, basically, so iced tea is really drinkable for me. So I make it all the time. And that's probably why I like sun tea so much. It's especially in the summer. It's like perfect to just like get a bunch of tea and brew up a whole like bunch of cups and stuff, and then I could put it in like one of my big cups, so like one of my big straw cups. And this is actually one of my favorite cups. I have 2 cups, and this one I got the original. Actually, this is not the original one that I got the original one when we had a bunch of merchandise that was going out. So I got the original for free, but then I was walking with it and it was like full of tea, and for whatever reason I just suddenly like let go of it and it fell and smacked on the ground, and it made me so sad. It did not shatter, thankfully. That would have been horrible, but it did like break and chip in certain areas, and so my family surprised me with a new one for Christmas. It was like a bonus present. And what I like to do sometimes also with my teas is I'll do like half tea and then a half juice. So I've got like mango juice and strawberry juice in the fridge that I just really love combining those sun teas with. So our hot water is ready now, and I'm just gonna pour like a little bit and start stirring, basically. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that all the sugar granules, if you're going this route, you want to make sure that all these sugar granules are dissolved into the hot water. Now, obviously, this isn't the same as doing a sugar syrup on the stove, but I think it works just as well. I'm actually going to add a little bit more water. I'm trying to gauge the difference between how much water I can add and how much space is available in my ball jar. But yeah, one of the awesome things you can do with sun tea is, because it does have a richer flavor, I like to cut it with juice that goes with the tea, or sometimes just with water for extra refreshing, for an extra refreshing drink. Remember where my mom got these jars. She got a bunch of these jars for like storing tea and coffee in, and I really love them because, as you can see, you can like chalkboard ink on the outside. So that's obviously what I did for my sugar. I like making stuff aesthetic. It's part of what being an artist is. So that's what I did, and I think it looks really cute. At some point I'm probably gonna have more jars of like loose leaf tea and stuff, but for now it's just this jar and then some coffee. I have coffee on the shelf. Alright, this is looking fully dissolved. We're gonna pour it into the tea, and I recommend doing this over a sink. We don't have a sink right here, so I'm just gonna pour it over like this. And I like this better than the sugar syrup because I almost feel like it dissolves better in the tea. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the lid back on, tighten it down, make sure it's nice and secure. Don't worry, we're gonna loosen it back up once we're done. Make sure that's closed, and then we're going to shake it like this. Make sure that that sugar syrup that we just put in is fully integrated into the tea. Right. that our tea is done brewing and has been sweetened, what we can do next is one of two things. If you don't want to enjoy it now, you can go ahead and put it in the fridge and it'll be nice and chill and ready for when you want to drink it. But what we're going to do now is pour a little bit. And there you have it. That is how to make sun tea. Give me a sip and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Stay sparkling, cameos. Delicious.